right, we are here at the No Bogeys charity event for Meals on Wheels in Norman. Baker Mayfield, Emily Mayfield here, and we're proud to be a part of this. And talking to some different Sooners throughout the day, and the first guy we bring up is a guy we know quite well. It's the Dozer. It's Blake Bell. Although, I don't know, does anybody in the NFL ever call you Dozer?
Oh, yeah. There are actually a lot of guys in the locker room. It's Dozer, Bell Dozer. They all kind of hear about it. They know about it.
They know about the college exploits.
They do. There's a few times that we'll be in meeting rooms or something, and they'll bring up different clips and stuff, and it's always fun because
you have had some plays where the ball comes into your hands, right, in Kansas City?
Yep. We actually did it in, I think, Dallas when I was there, and then we pulled up that clip when I went back to KC. We started doing it that next year, so it's kind of crazy how it transferred over to the NFL.
By the way, I apologize. I did not introduce you as world champion, Blake Bell. Now, you don't have the ring on.
Two-time, yeah.
Two-time.
You shorted him one, right?
Two-time world champion.
Yeah.
It's crazy to
Two
think
parades.
about that, man.
You're going to have to help with the Thunder Parade when they eventually get there.
Oh, that's coming. Don't worry.
I think so.
Did you ride on the buses in the parade?
We did. It's pretty crazy, man. I mean, you want to talk about, we're having a good time, but the fans are really having a good time. I mean, anything from fireball shooters to Coors Lights getting thrown at you, it's wild.
It sounds like my type of place is what it does.
Absolutely.
How about MC Eddie out here?
Oh, he's doing great.
Thank you. We're trying. We didn't know, usually it's a little bit more R-rated, but, at the charity event, I don't want to,
Yeah.
I got a little talking to at the Infant Crisis Center, and I was like, okay. All right.
You were nervous, too, though.
I was a little bit nervous,
You had Miss Oklahoma come up, ask for a picture?
That was the highlight of the day.
Yeah.
By the way,
the highlight of the day.
Two-time NFL world champion, I would like to introduce you to business owner Eddie Radosevich.
Yeah, thank you. If things don't work out in the NFL, let me know, and maybe we could get you over at Sooner Scoop.
Let's go, baby.
George Stoya is with us. George just recently joined Sooner Scoop and had a great article about Kyler Murray on today, on the website today, talking to different players. I know you didn't play with Kyler, but, just his weekend here. Are you going to be involved in all the festivities?
A little bit. I know tonight we'll go to the city, and I know the coolest part about this weekend is just getting everyone back. You see guys you haven't seen since college, and you get to catch up with everyone just from playing days, older guys, younger guys. And I think that's what's special. But, Kyler's such a special player. Watching him, all those runs, crazy runs he made, and just the way he throws a football, and now his success in the NFL, it's really cool to see.
That's what's kind of cool about this, too, I think, is especially seeing out here, you have guys from different generations. How well do you know those guys, just because it seems like it's such a brotherhood, across OU?
Yeah, I think it's coming back to things like this. You might not know a guy, but then all of a sudden you can chat, have a beer with someone, and kind of see how they're doing and what they're doing in life now. Or a lot of guys are still in the NFL and stuff, but it's special. This place, Oklahoma, the tradition and all the athletes, all the talent, and just the fan base. It's something like you've never seen before.
Blake, this is a great, the first ever, the inaugural, Bogeys from Baker and Emily, but you came out to support it. Tell us a little bit why you felt like it was important for you to come out here.
Well, Baker's one of my good buddies, and to support this great cause, it's very special, and you can see how the turnout's been. It's great, and we've talked about it, but anytime in Oklahoma you can get a day like this without the wind,
this is unbelievable that there is no wind today. It's going to be 40 miles an hour tomorrow for the spring game, but I can almost guarantee you
probably
that.
Tornadoes coming or something.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got their fill on, what was that, Thursday night?
Oh, my
or
God.
Wednesday night?
You were kind of almost in the path. Were you here? Were you?
Actually, I wasn't. I was in Dallas,
Oh.
and we were actually going to come back, and we looked at the weather, and I was like, well, maybe we should stay in Dallas.
Just wait one more day.
Wait one more day.
Wait one more day. It'll be fine.
Now, see, that's confusing because you've been in Dallas, but you're in Kansas City, but you were down there with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, we were down there. He kind of has this deal. We went phase one for us was virtual, so we got virtual meetings from 12 to 2, and that's kind of his way. Coach Reed said, hey, get the guys involved in Dallas, and everyone make it down there. And we had a great turnout, and we'd go over to APEC and train, and then we went over, and TCU was kind enough to let us use their indoor, and so we were in there, and it's been really cool.
Pat Mahomes doesn't seem like somebody. It's like when he doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does, it's like, yeah, I'm going to be there. I need to be there.
Yeah, I need to
show up for the quarterback.
When he says you need to be there for at least 2 sessions,
somebody
you're
needs to be there.
For 2 sessions.
For sure.
Does Sherry like him? That's the real question.
Oh, she does. But my mom, she loves about anybody.
Yeah.
She's gonna go up and talk to him, and Well, especially anybody in OU. So if she's falling around the NFL and sees an OU guy, she loves him.
What do you think about Baker in Tampa Bay?
I love it, man. Baker's a fighter. Baker's a dog. I just can't wait for him to show everyone what he's got, you know. I mean, you got the doubters out there, but, I mean, Bake is a baller. And this is going to be a breakout year for him, man. I can't wait. Get that guy paid and show everyone exactly what he can do. I've already known what he could do, but he's going to go out and ball out.
It is, I guess, a little bit interesting that, you know, I guess, the schedule's not out yet for the NFL, is it?
I think it did come out.
You know who
they had the whole schedule
they know
party
they-
and stuff.
they know who
See,
they
I
play,
I don't pay attention to that shit. I don't take it in. Can we say that on this podcast?
It's our podcast,
Okay,
so we
good.
say worse.
Good. Yeah, well, you do. I don't.
That's not true at all. You have a record of things that are bleeped for more than 5 seconds
Well,
on
those
this
are
podcast.
those are. You never know. Maybe those aren't real. Maybe we just put those in, and it's called editing.
Can we leave Michelle Herman out of this one charity podcast?
Yeah,
all right?
we could probably do that. I won't go there. It is crazy though that there's so many of you guys right now in the NFL. I mean, obviously Orlando's
And more
he's
coming.
moving on from Kansas City, but how fun has it been to run into guys that, you know, you take those pictures after the game with all the former OU guys. It seems like almost every game there's somebody somewhere out there.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then I've been lucky enough when I went to the Chiefs. I mean, you got me, Winchester, Orlando, Creed, Damian Williams was there in 19 on our Super Bowl run, and then like you said, all the different guys out there in the NFL. And you know, the cool part for me is, you know, you go out there on the field and you might not know a guy's on the team, and all of a sudden you're warming up and you see him, you're like, oh, no way. And so you go talk to him for a while. But I mean, there's guys everywhere, man, and that's just a testament to OU football. You know, just how we work and the coaching staffs we've had here. It's unbelievable.
What's it been like playing with Creed? I mean, he's really come on so far. I mean, what is he in his second, third year? And he's
Yeah, it
already
seems like
like one of the best centers in the league.
They're gonna have to back the Brinks trucks up here in the next couple of years for that guy.
It's unbelievable.
I promise you.
It's unbelievable. I remember going to Shawnee High School to watch him play in high school, and he couldn't get the ball off the ground. Like, he couldn't snap. I remember, like, telling Josh McQuestion, like, I don't know if he can snap the football. And it's obviously worked out pretty well for him.
And then we're going to have to figure this out, too. There's got to be a stat. Is he the first left-handed center to win a Super Bowl? I mean,
He might be.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
it was crazy. I remember on draft day, they were like, he was dropping because he's a left-handed center. I was like, have you watched his film?
Yeah.
Like, the guy's
a
unbelievable.
monster.
Yeah.
He's a
All
monster.
guys. It doesn't matter if he snaps right or left, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
How much fun has it been to play with Orlando? I know he's moving on now, but he's had an incredible career, especially after all the combine shit.
Yeah, it really is. He's a hell of a player, man. And, you know, playing tight end and playing next to him. And, you know, we kind of got that relationship where it's, you know, when we get on the field, he's serious, man. And him in the locker room before the games, it's crazy. He's got his music on. But, you know, off the field, he's just the happiest dude, chilling. And that's been pretty cool. But he balled out, man. And I'm happy for him. He got his big contract. And I know we're all sad to see him leave the Chiefs,
Sure.
the whole locker room. But,
Sure.
you know, I get it. That's part of the NFL and part of the business side. So,
How bad would I take a beating if I stole his foxtail?
oh man, I think he's got about 10,000 of them, so he might let you borrow it.
He might not
I
even
might have
know.
a closet just for the foxtails. By the way, congratulations, new father.
Thank you.
I mean, I think you were telling us earlier, 7 months now.
7 months. Yep, Brinley Ann Bell. She's doing great, man. It seems like she's changing every day. And
Were you
know,
glad to have a girl instead of a boy first?
I was. You know, I obviously at first wanted a boy, but having a baby girl is, you know, different kind of love for sure. And but she's got a big head, just like her father. 98 percentile in head circumference.
You buy into like that entourage thing, like a big head, bigger star.
Oh yeah, I hope so. You know, hopefully she's I don't know, maybe get her in tennis, golf, maybe a little volleyball, model. I don't know, whatever.
That's what Gabe and I are always talking about. Like, what should his kids be? Like, golfers is, I think, number one on the list. Tennis is pretty good. Baseball, pretty good.
Sure.
Anything to keep them away from football and concussions.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Blake, thanks for stopping by and talking to us, and thanks for coming out today. Just a great cause here at the No Bogeys inaugural Meals on Wheels
yes.
of Norman. We're trying to raise some more money out here. I'm sure, thanks to you being out here, more people are going to contribute to the silent auction and all that. So Good luck, and thanks for showing me up with your Rolex GMT there, by the way. Just making me
Hey,
look
come on, you guys are the watch guys, man.
me just with my poor Omega over here.
I appreciate you guys, man. It's been fun. Good seeing you guys.
All right, we're back here at Top Golf, where the No Bogeys Meals on Wheels Meals on Wheels of Norman is charity event is going on. Baker Mayfield silent auction, but a lot of former OU players out here. It's a big weekend with Kyler Murray having his Heisman statue unveiled tomorrow at the spring game, and we welcome in. World champion. We didn't do this. We forgot to do this with Dozer. World champion.
He made sure that we knew about it too.
Yeah. I think Dozer's a two-time.
Yeah, he made sure we knew it too. Yeah. But that's got to feel good. I know things have changed for you in the offseason, but that's got to feel awesome.
Yeah, no, man, it feels great, man. I mean, being able to, set that goal as a young kid, playing the sport, then having an opportunity to play in the game and let alone win it, I mean, man, truly special.
We were also talking to Dozer, like, how many foxtails are you up to now?
Like 12 or maybe
12?
13. I've had the same foxtails
Really?
for probably the last, 8 years.
Wow.
So,
we
yeah.
figured it was like 10,000. You had your own closet and stuff for it and stuff.
I'll never forget you walking into one of the post-game press conferences wearing it, and everybody was asking you about it. So
Yeah.
where did that originate?
Man, it was freshman year. The story's too vulgar to really give you the specific details, but man,
It's a podcast.
I just tell you, it's a good luck charm. I start wearing, and a lot of great things start happening. So
Yeah.
My favorite
on and off the field.
my favorite foxtail story was how you went to Ulta to get one. You needed one
Oh,
so
yeah.
bad
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
went and you went to a women's makeup store
I
to
did,
get
yeah.
one.
I did, yeah. And I had a little small version of it, and then I found this lady on eBay out of Montana. So they're about $4 a piece, and whenever I buy a new one, I get one from her. So
That's amazing. I need to get the number for that.
They're
I
only
might start
$4.
wearing one.
They're only $4.
yeah, only $4. But man, Michael Kors sells them for $200. You can buy them at
Wow.
Louis for
wow.
$500. You won't catch me wearing nothing like that, though.
Jamal Brown taught you well, huh?
Oh, no doubt, man.
I know George and I both want to talk about this. It's Baker's charity event.
Yep.
I know we would love to do a story on this, but the oral history of the Baker Mayfield kids jersey that you took out before the game when he got suspended. Like, where did you?
I've actually never talked about this.
Where
It's
did
one
you
of the
get
greatest
that?
moments in Oklahoma football.
It
history.
really is.
We thought he was dead.
Yeah, it was like he died.
That was exactly the mindset too. So obviously, I'm a big trash talking guy, and I've probably said a lot of crazy shit to people on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I personally at the time I was just like, man, I've said a lot worse things and done a lot worse things than what Six did in that game. And man, when I found out he was suspended, Adrian Ely was the one I believe that had the jersey, and I was like,
So good.
I knew he had a Baker Mayfield jersey, so I was like, man, it's
It was like a
senior night.
jersey too, though, right?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's so I told Baker earlier the week when I found out the suspension was official. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna carry you out there, and he had no idea what I was referring to. And so, man, I go out there, man, with the Six jersey, man. It was awesome, though. That was a great moment.
Was there ever a moment where in your head you're like, this might be a little small?
Yeah, I definitely was like, man, I think the worst thing I was worried about, man, was how Joe C would feel about it. I'm like, man, Joe C just suspended this man, and I've got his jersey on the field. So
One of the best parts about that too is the suspension happens or whatever, and it was only like 3 plays.
3 plays.
Look at
Yeah.
this Kyler housed it on the first play.
He got
66
caught from behind.
Was that West Virginia?
Yeah, it was
66
Virginia.
yards. Yeah, he
Yeah.
went 66.
Yeah, man, no, it was hilarious. Coach Riley called it, man. He was like, Baker's not starting, but he'll be out there soon. So
Yeah.
there was 4 plays, 3 plays.
It might be one of the only times that Kyler Murray's been like caught from behind on the field too.
Hey, seriously, yeah. I don't remember who the guy was that chasing him, man, but he must have been fast as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I remember most about that week is, I'm going to say it, you don't have to, a lot of crocodile tears from Lincoln Riley that week.
Yeah. Holy shit.
No, that was like his that's my quarterback moment, wasn't it?
It really was.
That was great.
Man.
I mean, none of us believed any of that stuff. It was just like, wow.
Well,
he's
and
really
just because
selling
of like the crotch grab, that like Sean McDonough like lost his shit because of it.
it. No, it was Greg McElroy, wasn't it?
I thought he was the play-by-play guy. Sean McDonough was the play-by-play guy, and McElroy
he was the guy that the rest of the week he was like, I can't believe this happened and all that stuff.
In my opinion, man, it got blown out of proportion, man. I think, it's just like the Angel Reese stuff this offseason with the basketball. I mean, it's competitive, man.
Yeah.
Like, when you play in these competitive sports at a high level, especially in college, it's a lot of emotion. You know what I mean? Like, you're not thinking about that shit.
You're coming up, against with guys like Drew Samia and Ben Powers. I mean, I can't believe the stuff that Ben Powers would probably say to people.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, all of those guys, like, that was our culture. You know what I mean? That was what you got when you faced the University of Oklahoma, was just some dog motherfuckers up front, man. That was
I love it.
That was the mindset.
I'm sure that Bill loved that too.
Absolutely loved it.
I don't wanna we're not bleeping that out, right?
No,
No,
stay.
leave that in there.
World
Leave that in there.
champion MFer stay, yeah.
So that's all I have to do is win a world
Yes,
championship
you win
to
a world
not get
champion.
bleeped.
We'll stop bleeping F-bombs on the pod. We let everything else go,
That's
but we
fine.
bleep F-bombs.
That's fine.
That's great.
George, I want to bring this up too. This is another moment in OU offensive lineman history. George was there. He was actually afraid for my life one time when I asked Ben Powers if anybody had ever asked him if they reminded him of the accountant, from the movie with Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
Because he was just always stone faced, and I wondered could he just kill anyone at command and not even phase him. But his dad, who's kind of crazy, loved it. I don't know. I still to this day don't know if Ben wants to kill me or not.
Yeah, no, I don't. He's never said anything like that. But Ben's one of those guys, man. He's got that killer instinct. You know what I mean? He's real subtle. He thinks, he processes things before he moves. The accountant is a real great way to compare him.
He had that great line at Big 12 Media Days. That was I just want to crush a man's soul.
Oh, yeah.
That's
good.
like the Bill Beatenbow attitude right there.
Oh, no doubt, bro. And he meant it too.
How would you say your relationship is with Baker compared to any other quarterback you've had?
Yeah, I mean, man, it's crazy. So me and Bake's relationship was kind of bonded through our moms. Mm-hmm. So my mom was coming to the games, and obviously his mom's coming to the games, and my mom, I can't remember which game it was after my freshman year. She was just like, you the Baker kid, you talk to the Baker kid? And I was like, yeah, we spent time together, we teammates. She's like, man, listen, his mom is cool as fuck. You need to talk to him. His mom is cool. And so, I mean, man, just from there, I feel like our relationship grew, and man, I mean, I'm close to him, just because of so much of what we've been through, and I feel like in the sport, man, and then really in life, period, you cross bridges with people, and when you cross those bridges of being a starter first year, or second year on campus after a red shirt, and then your same draft, and then you're training in LA together, and then you're playing in the AFC North, going against each other twice a year, those natural things come, because you're crossing the bridge with someone.
I think there's been moments where I've been ready to send out a tweet.
Yeah.
And I'm just ready to fucking send it.
Yeah.
How ready were you to send the video out after you got the deal signed?
Oh, big time, man, big time. I've been sitting on that one for a long time.
That's pretty good. It was
That
pretty
was
good.
an awesome video.
It was awesome.
Yeah, man, I watch that before every game, before I take the field, man.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because, I mean, I feel like it's something that, it's important for people to recognize, where they come from or what was started. And, not that I even felt like that point. I didn't feel the way that they felt about me at that time. But, it's definitely humbling for me, to be able to prove not only myself right, but other people wrong. And that was, I mean, man, that's why I held on to that video. I still do.
Was there any time after that combine and after that experience, it was like, fuck, can I do this?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I think, when you fail, it's definitely human nature, man, to somewhat feel a little bit of doubt. But, man, I'm a big believer in God. I'm a big believer in your work ethic and the time that you put into something, you're going to get out of that, reaping what you sow. And, man, I just, I'm somebody, man, that'll forever maintain that confidence when it comes to football just because I love the game. I love everything that comes with it, man. I love working out. I love the grind. I love practice. I love getting better, getting to know the guys, camaraderie. It's like war, man. It's like the military. I love that.
And it's interesting, too, because people bring that up all the time, and I say, look, what people don't understand is when you came back for pro day, you owned all that stuff. I mean, you were I didn't do well at the combine, and you did better.
Yeah.
And then you kind of left it into personnel manager's hands, and it all ended up working out. But yeah, you did go through a lot of shit with the way that the combine played out initially.
Yeah, I did, man. I told every team at the combine. I mean, I met with pretty much. I think I met with 28 teams, and every team asked me how I was going to test. And they're like, what are you going to run the 40? I was like, I'd bet my life I'd be the slowest guy here. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, and I was like, that's not that there's no fight in me. I mean, it's not that I'm not a competitor, but I just started running at 14, so I was eating cereal on the couch up until that point. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, the dunking basketball video showed up a lot after that.
yeah. Captain Insano, man. It's awesome.
You've since gotten to play with so many great quarterbacks. What's that been like? Obviously, Lamar, Pat Mahomes, now Joe Burrow. I mean, what's that been like playing with so many different guys like that?
It's crazy, man. It's like I'm so spoiled in the football world, bro. Like I hate I didn't win a national championship here at OU. That's the one thing that like I regret about my career up to this point. But man, I mean, I've been so blessed to be around great players and these quarterbacks, and I mean, just and they're all real dudes too. You know what I mean? These are guys that work really hard, that love their craft, that love the game of ball, they love to get coached. Like, I mean, and it started with 6, you know, here in school, and then transitioning into, you know, Lamar and all those other dudes, man, Pat, now Joe. It's crazy, man. But I mean, it's been awesome.
What's it like watching guys like Shep, you know, around the league, and you know him kind of going through injuries, coming back and re-signing with New York, but just to see that fraternity, everybody's kind of had their ups and downs, even Baker along the way.
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, I'm always rooting for any of my brothers, man, that, you know, we strapped up together, or, you know, we got the OU on your helmet, man. I mean, it's hard, you know, making it to the professional level and being able to have success. And
so many OLs in the league.
Exactly. Yeah, man. It's awesome. I mean, what do we have? We have 7 or 8 guys from our room in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Insane.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. But, you know, that was the culture that Coach B built, man. That was, you know, the standard that we set in our room was, you know, who can be the best offensive lineman on the field today. And that was in workouts with Schmitty. That was in practice with Coach B. That was on Saturdays, you know, going against each other. It's like, how many knockdowns you got? Oh, shit, I could, you know what I mean? Like, it turned into that. And you know, it created a monster. And that type of competition and camaraderie we had with each other, man, it really was a driving force for us. But I don't even know where I'm taking this. But
well, let me ask you this. I mean, we were talking to Blake about it. What was it like seeing Creed Humphrey develop as a pro? I mean, young guy that you know, was coming up when you were here. Yeah. But, you know, now he's seen as one of the best linemen in the league.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. I hosted Creed like twice, like coming here to OU. We were just talking about that last night. But I mean, man, it's like guys like him deserve those opportunities. Guys like him deserve the opportunity to be in the position he's in, man. And you know, he came in right away at OU and hit the ground running. They threw a bit with the big dogs, with the 530 group. He didn't skip a beat, you know what I mean? Never complained, never fell out of a workout. And even, you know, leading up into that, you know, being able to be a starter here for 2 or 3 seasons, and then coming into Kansas City, I mean, he hit the ground running, man, right away. He picked up the playbook fast. He understood the formations. And, I mean, he's truly a special talent as far as, like, what he can do at the center position on and off the field, man. What he's able to do with Pat and talking with our O-line coach at the time about protections and all of that. I mean, I'm so proud and very happy for him, man. He's really earned it, and he puts in the time. He puts in the work. He cares. He loves the game. And, I mean, man, I could talk about him all day, man. I'm so happy for him.
How excited are you about Cincinnati?
Oh, I'm fired up, man. I mean, I'm also, I mean.
You met Joe yet?
I have, yeah. So we spent a little time together. The first day I signed in New York City. He just happened to be there while I was there, and man, we chopped it up and eating cheeseburgers from Shake Shack. So it's talking ball, man. But I'm fired up for the opportunity. I got Joe Mixon there, Cody Ford in there with me.
Sure,
so it's been pretty cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
No matter what they tell you, Skyline Chili don't go.
Yeah, oh, really?
I'm not a fan. No.
Oh no, don't tell me that. I haven't been yet, man. I don't know.
It's not terrible.
I don't think Joe Burrow's a fan of it. I saw on a podcast.
I think he said that.
They put cinnamon in the chili.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
I
don't know if you could ever like taste it though. I couldn't.
It's just kind of Swedish.
I've never had bad chili, so I don't know what.
Well, you haven't been to Skyline.
You're walking into.
We're going to Cincinnati. We're going to Cincinnati.
We are going to Cincinnati. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
See, but this is unfair.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
No way.
Cincinnati's in the Big 12 now.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I don't know.
OU,
look at the schedule.
is in a conference with an Ohio team for 1 year only.
I wonder if they'll play at the Bengals Stadium. Didn't they play there?
I have no idea.
The last time in 01 they played at Bengals Stadium.
Yeah.
But they have their own stadium that, you know, is
No, it was
really
like,
big.
09. Or no, it was 10.
Not
It was
01.
2010. It was 2010.
Yeah. So OU
because I was
comes
up
to
in St. Louis
Cincinnati
with
this year.
Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. I did not know
It'll be
that.
cool.
I did not know that. That's tight.
Let me ask you this. I mean, kind of to wrap it up. I mean, Kyler Murray getting his own day.
Yep.
Were you here last year for Baker's?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I mean, that was just a special day.
Yep.
Really enjoyed it. But, you know, knowing what Baker went through last year, knowing that Kyler's going to get his day, to me it's interesting because, you know, you get kind of people nationally away from here, like, why do people love Baker so much more than Kyler or celebrate him so much?
Yep.
And those of us that have been around it, we all know, kind of the way that it all worked out. I mean,
Yeah.
Baker was that walk-on,
Yep.
kind of the people's champion a little bit. Kyler was that 5-star that, was kind of crowned from, the day he stepped
Yep.
onto a high school football field.
Yep.
So I think fans react to them differently, but at the same time, they love them both, as guys that won Heisman trophies, that took them to college football playoffs.
Yep.
Like, for Kyler to get that day, to me, I think that's going to be special for him.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I think it's earned. It's like I said, man. He's a guy that also works very hard, and I feel like he has this competitive nature about him that makes him different and makes him special. And he's been able to carry that throughout each level of a competition in football, and that's really hard to do, man. Especially when the standard is set that high. Being the number 1 overall draft pick, being the number 1 overall recruit, being the best player ever in Texas. Very rarely do those guys get to the NFL and make Pro Bowls. Very rarely do you get to the NFL and put your team in playoff contention. That just doesn't really happen, and it's all because of his mindset, man. He's so competitive. I mean, he's a guy that's going to scratch and claw not to lose, man. I've been in video games, played video games with him. I've wrestled his little ass. He competes, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's world champion Orlando Brown, man. We can't thank you enough for
Does
taking
that ever
time.
get old?
Never.
I don't think it ever will either.
Never will.
Got that forever.
I love it.
What do you
man.
do with the rings? Mom have it?
So I get my ring on, I believe, June 15th.
Okay.
But yeah, no, man, I'll have it. I'll stare at it every single day that I can. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah. No
Well, man, we appreciate it. It's a great guest. First guest ever dropping F-bombs. We love it.
Invited
You can
back
t-
anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
Anytime.
You can tell
Anytime.
Eddie feels some sense of competition because he's dropping something.
Well, it feels good. It feels good to have somebody else with a little bit of a potty mouth.
I love it too.
So,
dog.
yeah, you're welcome anytime. I tell you what,
problem.
we're going to hook you up with some unofficial 40 merch and
Yeah, please.
some Eddie merch and all that stuff. So we'll get
next
that
time we'll
all
talk
taken
about Building 7.
Yes.
care of. All right, thanks, Orlando. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Appreciate
Good
you
luck
guys.
to you.
Thank you.
Eddie Radosevich and George Stoya, Kerry Murdoch back here at the No Bogeys Baker and Emily Mayfield event, Meals on Wheels of Norman. We're now joined by Justin Yahola. Is it I have a Radosevich, and I've heard it pronounced every other way. So I get a
He
little bit
can't
of
pronounce anybody's
I can't
name.
pronounce
If you
anybody's name.
give
I
him
work with Josh McQueen, and I still
George
can't pronounce his name.
Seibert?
Seibert. Seibert's the
No,
worst.
you said it perfect. Justin
Yahola. No, you were obviously with Riverwind, the presenting sponsor today. I guess, why did you guys want to get involved with Baker?
This is, Riverwind is a part of Meals on Wheels, and this is a tremendous opportunity. And as soon as Summer reached out to us when this came about, it was instant. Like, man, we're in. Being a part of the Norman community with Riverwind, and Riverwind's been active since 2006, and Meals on Wheels has always been a true partner with us. And serving the community is number one for Riverwind, but being a part of the senior community is very important. And since I've been at Riverwind for the last 5 years, that's been one of the main priorities that we've done with communities is working with Meals on Wheels and working with Summer. It's been awesome.
I was a little worried about you guys on Wednesday with the tornado down there.
Yes.
That's part of the Central Oklahoma process, though.
Normally, when you're watching the news, you're like, hey, when your casino is on the news, it's one of two reasons: something bad or something weather related.
Sure.
And this was one of those instances of where, man, it was very close, very scary, but our team did a great job and taking those precautions, and thankfully, we were safe and everybody made it through.
Yeah, I'm in Norman, and I'm sitting there watching the weather, and I'm like, as soon as that thing, like, you just think, okay, all the stuff's going out east. When it takes a left turn like that, I don't know how you felt, but I just basically sat in my TV, and it was like watching a sporting event. I was like, that's not fair. That's not supposed to happen.
Yes, we thought we were in the clear, and then we heard on the news it took a direct shot north, and automatically it was take cover again, for the second time, and it was very scary. And we always pride ourselves saying, there's when it comes to the weather, the casinos are the safest place in Oklahoma, and this was very, very close to where it was like maybe I wasn't true on this predicament, but
Didn't
on this
hit, though.
prediction.
Didn't hit,
It did
so
not
you were
hit,
right.
so
You
we're
technically
still
were
good.
right.
Yeah. Technically,
You were right.
we are still good. The casinos are one of the safest places in Oklahoma.
No doubt. With Baker, obviously, I think there's a lot of Oklahoma fans that, I think, especially growing up in Oklahoma, you have like this admiration, you have like this connection back to him. he's a really easy guy to work with in events like this.
Yes, he is. And this is the second time I've got to meet with Baker, and the last time was last year when he was here for the Meals on Wheels event, and it's been awesome. Him and Emily have been great, very, very, very true to Meals on Wheels, and that's awesome to see that when he comes here, the first thing that he does when he's in Oklahoma is he reaches out to Summer and Meals on Wheels. That is awesome to see. I love it.
Well, and I mean, just like us, I mean, when we're presented with this opportunity, like, yeah, we got to do it. I mean, great cause, Meals on Wheels, and to be associated with great companies like yours, I mean, just a no-brainer for us. So, thank you so much for being a part of this, and we're back as many times as they want to have us because it's just a fantastic event.
Oh, I agree, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and the same with us. We hope this becomes a yearly event, and we know Riverwind will definitely be a part of it. We look forward to it.
Justin, I'm going to need a couple strokes the next time we play golf because I know how that turns out each time.
We'll be ready. We got to do it again. Thank you,
we
guys.
appreciate it. Justin, you hold up from
He didn't say
Riverwind.
anything about free play, Eddie.
Well, we'll work on that. That's a couple beers after we get out onto the course.
We're on it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, we are here at No Bogeys, the charity event for Meals of Wheels of Norman, Baker Mayfield, Emily Mayfield, a lot of his former players and friends here for the event, both past and guys he played with. One of those being Grant Calcaterra. Let me stop you real quick, Grant. Sadly to say, you're the only non-world champion that we've had on so far.
Oh,
today.
bummer. Yeah.
Just missed that last year.
Yeah, it was really close, but yeah, the best loser.
I'm sorry,
so far.
just Orlando
God,
Brown, Blake Bell.
I tried to get him over here. I didn't tell him he was going to walk into just straight
an ambush.
Yeah.
I know.
Shit.
Come on, guys.
No, I mean, Grant, I mean, everybody kind of knows your story, and George wrote a story about it today, and I appreciate you talking to us about that, with Kyler. But that 2018 season, I mean, just incredible, culminated by that catch in the Cotton Bowl.
This Big 12 championship game.
Yeah,
And Jerry World.
Yeah.
AT&T, yeah.
Brain farted there. Not a world champion.
Well,
But no, I mean, just you're
have you
kind
been
of
drinking?
No, I haven't. I wish I had been, but I haven't. No, but just that season in general, kind of your memories of that.
2018, yeah. Shoot, I remember. Obviously, we're coming off a really good year, and we had really high expectations. Obviously, new quarterback, and put the same goal in mind. And we really did have a great year. We came up short at the very end, but I mean, it was a special year. I had a great year. Kyler obviously went nuts and picked up right where Bake left off. And it was just a ton of fun. We had a good young team, a lot of really, really good players on that team. We reloaded, and we're still really good after the previous year. So it was a lot of fun.
Could you take us through that catch? Because, I mean, that's obviously one that you'll always be remembered for in Norman.
Yeah, so the way that the play was set up, I was on the right with CD, and I think it was like an empty formation with three guys on the left, and it was a zone concept on the left and a man concept on the right. So if the defense was running zone, Kyler was going to throw the ball to the left, and if they're in man, they were going to throw the ball to the right to me. And saw his man-to-man coverage and ran an inside fade, and Kyler threw me a great ball. I made a good catch and won the game. Also got a 15-yard penalty that nobody really talks about that I got bailed out on. So.
I think my favorite thing about that play was the next year, the Big 12 Media Days happened in Dallas, and they're playing that play on the screen over and over, and Tom Herman is sitting there for Texas just looking up at it and just giving him shivers every time he sees it. He actually made note of that.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing that video. It was pretty funny. I'm glad they threw that up there for him.
Well, what do you think? I mean, you saw Baker kind of go through this last year. Why is it important for you to be here for Kyler, and how excited are you for him having this day tomorrow?
Just because it's just a special thing. I mean, you drive by the stadium, you see all those statues. It's just, the coolest thing. You're immortalized in OU history, and it's cool to be a small part of that, and be on the team where he won a Heisman Trophy, and it was such a special thing last year for Bake, and so I wouldn't miss it for Kyler either.
I mean, you were at Baker's house when he was drafted number 1, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
To go through that period of time in OU football history, to be a fly on the wall, that's amazing to me. I mean, Baker wins the Heisman. He gets drafted number 1. You're right there. You come back the next year, Kyler wins the Heisman, gets drafted number 1. I mean, there are not many people that can say they've ever been a part of something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I continue to realize how lucky I am to play with so many great players. I mean, I was talking to my dad, and we actually just got Marcus Mariota is now on the Eagles, and which will be the 4th Heisman Trophy player I'll play with. So my dad was telling me,
and a runner-up in your quarterback.
Yeah, and Jalen, and he said you might be on a Jeopardy question one day. So I'm really, I've been really lucky to play with a lot of really good players.
Eddie Radosevich he's being a problem right now.
He's running the show.
He's on a
here.
microphone.
He's doing his best.
So it's time to announce it. What do you think about this event? I mean, first year for Baker. I could see this, going year after year after year. I mean, it's been a great event.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he just reached out to me and asked if I was going to be in town, and I told him I was, and asked me to come help out. And yeah, I mean, I would do anything for him, and I didn't really know what to expect, and it's really cool to see that. I mean, there's so many people here, so much money is being donated and for charity, and so really cool deal. And I do think it'll be a thing every year from now on.
Grant, I did want to ask you about playing with Jalen this last year in Philadelphia. What's that been like? I know you got to play with him a little bit in 2019. I know that was kind of a weird year for you, but getting to play with him, this first year in Philadelphia, what's that been like?
It's been really good. I think mostly it's just really cool to see how hard he's worked to become a better player, and I think everybody can see how he's just improved every single year, and that's really just his will to win, will to be the best player on the field, and so it's been really cool to see the differences, between him in college and in the NFL.
I think all of us, Eddie, George, and I, we were all in the room when you announced that you were, leaving football. Very emotional day, I think, for everybody. I just want to say, congratulations to you for, being able to overcome that and being in the NFL now. I mean, everybody knows you went to SMU after that and you continued your career. But, I think just as us from watching afar, can't say how much we appreciate kind of the struggle that you've gone through.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. And you guys have always been real supportive of me, even though I had to go a different route. And, OU is always a home to me, and you guys have made it really awesome for me to be able to come back and enjoy it.
When was the moment? You guys maybe already asked.
You were interrupting us.
When was the moment that you're like, I got to get back? I got to get back and play.
It's tough to say if there was an actual moment. I always kind of I just never really stopped thinking about it, and so I remember watching the draft in 2020, and I was projected to go in that draft, and seeing a lot of other guys get picked, that definitely stirred up some emotions for sure. But I don't know if there was an exact moment, but I remember it being pretty crazy once I decided to do it. It was pretty wild from then on.
How much did Tanner Mordecai recruit you to SMU?
He recruited me hard. Yeah, it was. I was super happy I did it. Tanner and I were roommates and had so much fun together. It was one of the most fun years of football I've had, and it was awesome that him and I could do that together.
He's at Wisconsin now, right?
He is, yeah.
I think he's projected to be the starter.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a freaking good player, and I know he's going to go up there and do a great job and set himself up.
What do you think about Baker in Tampa?
I'm happy about it. I have a couple friends who play, a couple guys my age who are on the team, and I was talking to him. I was like, you guys are going to have fun with Bake being there. I think it's going to be great for him. I think he's got a real opportunity to do some good things down there, and I know he's going to make the most of it.
Taking over for a quarterback that really didn't do a whole lot in his career anyway, so it's it's not like the shoes are too big to fill.
Yeah, right. He should be able to just step right in. Yeah.
What is? Did you guys already ask about Jalen and kind of that situation about how crazy it's been? I was making announcements. Fuck me, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we discussed a lot of that. Yeah.
Well, I missed it.
But I guess going off that with Jalen, and we just mentioned a bunch of guys, just how cool has it been being back here? And just it seems like so many different generations of OU guys, and getting to talk to maybe Blake Bell and guys like that you see across the league, and then come to events like this.
Yeah, it was. Blake's a great example.
He's just the worst.
Yeah, he's such a great dude, and we didn't play together. We just had mutual friends, and we became buddies. And whenever I see him, it's always great to see him. And obviously, I saw him in Arizona at the Super Bowl, which was cool. And yeah, I mean, talk about a crazy journey. It's a pretty wild one in Blake Bell. And so, yeah, it's great to see former players and guys that I've heard of but have never met.
Is there one guy on that list like that you've never met that you know of, or you grew up maybe watching that you would like to meet?
Oh, it's tough to say. I mean, there's got to be. I just can't really think of any off the top of my head right now.
I guess everybody's kind of met Bosworth. He's been around so much.
I've actually never met him.
Really?
Yeah. And he's definitely one I'd like to meet. Yeah, there's one.
I bet he's around this weekend.
I've never met Billy Sims.
It's kind of funny how many of those like former players and obviously like the OU legends or whatever that they're around, but I think everybody feels like everybody knows everybody, but you really don't.
I know. There's just so many. It's hard to know everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never met Bosworth. Never met Billy Sims. So
Billy Vessels. All right.
It'd be tough to meet him.
Yeah, I've never met him.
That's
either.
a U40 for you. All right. Well, Grant, thanks so much for being a part of this. Thanks for coming over and talking to us. It was a fantastic day. We hope there are many more of these in the future.
We conned them into coming over. They were headed out, and I said, Grant, we got to come over here for a second.
I'm glad you did. I'm so glad you did. But best of luck to you with the Eagles next year, and I know you can be a world champion the next time we talk to you. I know you can.
We'll see.
All right, that's Grant Calcaterra. Thank you. We'll be back again with a few more interviews, including Baker Mayfield, Emily Mayfield coming up next. All right, it is the end of No Bogeys with Baker Mayfield and Emily. I can't say someone else's name. With Baker and Emily Mayfield.
There we go.
Meals on Wheels in Norman, the beneficiary. Baker, first off, thanks so much for having us. We're honored to be a part of this. If you keep doing this year after year, just call us and we'll be an instant in for you. But just a great time. Now, we had an electric interview with Orlando Brown Jr. today.
There were some things that were said.
It was unbelievably awesome. Like,
man.
Like, if Mike Halk were here, he would be shitting his pants.
But Mike's not here.
He's not here.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Mike. I know you don't. Anyway, but just overall, just today, I mean, coming back to Oklahoma, I don't know how many women Emily had to threaten to beat up today. I'm curious the number, if you can give us that.
I think the over-under was probably around 20. But you know what? She got it right back when the old guys were asking her for pictures. So, you know, it works out. No, but it was a great turnout, and everybody, I think, had fun.
Well, and I mean, just how do you think this went? I mean, you probably could have sold out this entire place if you wanted to today.
Yeah, I think this was a good first one. We had the whole first floor up here, and it was a great turnout, and found out that we had to turn some people away during the week. So going to try and do it bigger and better each year, and obviously we're thankful for Topgolf and Riverwind for being able to help put us on and do all that.
There's obviously I think that there's a lot of connection back to you, obviously, with the Oklahomans. When did you start feeling that? Like, I think everybody, like, you ask anybody out there on the streets, they always say that Baker Mayfield's one of their favorite players in Oklahoma history. I mean, from where you came from the story, from the backstory and everything like that, growing up, going to the games with the Jones family, all of that.
Yeah.
It seems like when did you realize, like, holy shit, this thing is getting pretty big?
I think the year I sat out in 2014, I think, was when it started to become real, because I got to play in that spring game. And that was kind of their first opportunity to see me in person, and that's when some of the stories were coming out that I was playing intramural sports and just diving in head first, and then they found out that I just showed up to a team dinner. So I think it was just some of the things that I was just doing naturally that picked a little steam, and everybody just kind of fell in love with that. But here's the thing, I was just doing it because I loved it, and I love this place.
I was going to say, I feel like one reason why a lot of people gravitate towards you is you're just it's almost like you're one of the fans. Like you feel so connected. Does that ever surprise you, the amount of people that have come to love you? I mean, I feel like you could come back to Norman, like, let's say football doesn't work out someday. You could come back to Norman and open your own restaurant, and it'd be incredible.
Yeah, you could maybe reopen Sugars.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be a pretty cool deal.
Baker's dozen.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And he finally found an investor for a sky bridge.
I have no comment on that one. No, but it's always felt like home, from the time I was younger, and then through my playing days as well, and especially now. It's so great to come back here and to feel that love and feel that community.
The love last year that you felt, you were pretty open about it. At the time that it happened, it was something that was greatly needed for you.
Yeah.
I think about Kyler, and we get this question a lot, and it comes nationally, like, why is Baker loved more than Kyler? Almost as if it's a negative. And I think the thing is, Kyler is loved by Oklahoma fans.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people identify with you because you were the walk-on. You were the guy that they see themselves as, whereas Kyler was the 5-star.
Yeah.
But everyone we've talked to today, I know the story you did with George, Kyler is just as big a competitor as you are. I mean, he wants this and deserves this just as much as you did.
He completely does. I mean, he's a special guy. And here's the thing. I got to have more years here in Oklahoma for people to see me play than Kyler did, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons. And we're two completely different people, and I love that. We're so competitive at the same time, but we're two completely different people. And I think it's kind of the blue collar. I wear my emotions on my sleeves. Kyler keeps everything close to the vest, so there's a huge difference in personality there. But I think it was just the fact that they got to see me play a little bit more. But he completely deserves this weekend, and I can't wait to see everything how it turns out tonight for the unveiling, and then especially tomorrow to let him get that recognition he deserves.
What do you remember about your unveiling last year? Because everybody had a really quick opinion with those studio lights coming down until they saw it in the daylight the next day.
Yeah. I think there were different looks, like, is that actually supposed to be him? but they didn't realize that was just a replica hollow trophy. The real sculpture was already out there, and so they did an incredible job. Same sculptor did Kyler's, and so I've gotten to see a little preview of it, and it looks really good.
What's that process like? Do you get to pick that out, like where you say, hey, I want the headband, like all that stuff?
So the way it worked, they sent a packet of pictures to our house in Cleveland, and it was just options for whatever the pose was going to be. And so I had to live rent free in Oklahoma State's heads one more time and forever, and just put that stiff arm from that game up. There was a few other options, but I felt that was the best one.
The crotch grab was what I personally wanted.
Yeah, Joe Seed really didn't want that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he didn't want the flag plant either.
Well, and that would have been badass, though. Like, that would have been really cool.
It's just
I know that would have pissed off a lot of
people wanted the Sam Bradford head over heels into the end zone against Oklahoma State. Like, that was never going to happen.
No, it wouldn't. I kind of wanted the mustache on mine, but that didn't happen either.
Dude,
awesome. We can still dream, though.
Yeah, we can always go back and put it on, I guess. Like, just get him out there and start chiseling that motherfucker out. Like, that's all you got to do. I can say that. Orlando Brown said
You're not a world champion, though. We've determined you can only say fuck if you're a world champion.
All right, well, we'll move on. No, I wanted
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you're going down this line, because George and I want to ask about the Orlando stuff.
That's where I want to go.
So, I can't believe this. Orlando said he's never been asked about the Baker Mayfield has died pregame handshake.
West Virginia.
When you were suspended against West Virginia. And
one of the great moments in Oklahoma football history.
Like, George and I had been discussing in the office this week,
like, did he die?
Doing an oral history of that handshake, that captain's. Like, what do you know about that? And then we'll tell you what Orlando said.
I had no idea they were going to do that. I truly didn't. I knew how much it meant to me to play in my last home game there, and how much it really did crush me that I wasn't able to start, even though it was just one series, because Kyler's little fast ass took the first place 75 yards down the field. So it didn't last very long, but I had no idea they were going to do that. But that just, to me, that symbolized the support and love I had for my teammates no matter what. And I don't think they all agreed with it, but it is what it is. And so now we get to act like I was dead for about 5 minutes.
Now, he said that he realized he got the jersey from Adrian Ely. Adrian Ely had a Baker Mayfield jersey. That's kind of weird.
It's like a kid's jersey.
And it's a jersey.
Yeah.
It's not it's a jersey.
I thought it was the regular jersey.
It wasn't going to fit Adrian either way. So I
it was tiny.
Yeah.
And Orlando said as soon as he got halfway out there, he realized it looked like he was holding a baby's jersey.
Well, anything in his hands is going to look like he's holding a baby's jersey. Sure. He showed me a picture of his son. He looks like he's 13 years old. He might be 4 feet tall already.
Nick Saban's already knocking on the door.
Yeah.
The other shocker
offered.
The other shocker from Orlando is he only has 8 foxtails. We figured he had an entire closet full of them.
He rotates them in and out on a good routine, so people don't see the same one.
They're also only
ever.
$4. Like, he was telling us that you could buy them on eBay.
No way.
Yeah, for $4.
There's a lady on Etsy he buys them from for $4.
He's been lying to my face for a long time.
Yeah, but then he came over the top and was like, well, you can also get these other ones.
And he was like, I don't have those. I'm like, I don't know if I believe that.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit now.
I'm interested to see how the Cincinnati culture embraces his foxtails.
I'm sure they'll love it.
It'll be interesting.
Have you had the Skyline chili?
I have.
It sucks, doesn't it?
It's. I don't.
Joe
I don't get
Burrow's
it.
going to be there
I
forever. You don't
get
have to. You don't have to dodge it.
I'd rather have just spaghetti.
Yeah.
And meatballs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then just normal chili.
Yeah. I
It's
agree.
it's a bold
I don't
combo.
Get it. I don't get it. I don't get the differentiation.
No. But you know what else is a weird thing? I learned from my wife in Nebraska. They do cinnamon rolls and chili.
Yeah, I don't get that
That's
either. That's
gross.
That's like a Runza thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, runs as
Hey,
a.
cinnamon rolls and chili. No, it's not. She says
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just it's much. It's a lot.
They're trying.
And I'm fat. and I still don't know.
Are you saying?
Maybe a couple edibles in, I could do that. Yeah, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Let's keep Eddie away from your wife.
He was already with Miss Oklahoma. Remember?
Yeah, oh man.
We're not dating. She doesn't know that.
Don't get him
but-
started.
Her dad was following her around. Did you ask for permission or hand in marriage?
We're
She asked for a
going to work
picture.
on that. We're going to work on that. We're going to see what country club he's a member of, and then we'll work our way in.
I can tell you
It's
he's
the
not a
next-
member of Augusta.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Southern
That's fine.
Hills, maybe.
Yeah,
Still
well,
holding out hope for
I
Southern
think
Hills.
she might be an Oklahoma City girl. I'm not sure.
All right, might get you on Nichols
How I
Hills
Met
then.
Your Mother
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah, Oklahoma
The
City
new
Country Club.
Hulu version.
Gabe might have to sneak us in on the back door.
He can do that. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm sure.
What do you, I mean, the guys that came to support you today. I mean, Sterling was here. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, we talked about Orlando, but just a great group of guys, obviously, that we know.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bunch of guys that were trying to make it, and flights didn't work out. They got in a little bit later, just because we all started our first week of work. But yeah, everybody that showed up was unbelievable. I mean, we even saw JT Thatcher here today. So unbelievable player from back in the day when the last national championship we had. So good to see them. Quinton Mintermeyer, Blake Bell, Ben Powers was going to come, but they're busy with their new house and stuff in Denver. So I mean, we had a great turnout, but we also had a lot more national champions with their softball and gymnasts here.
Sure.
So they always love to show up and show off.
It is wild, and we were talking. I think Blake was talking about this. Just how many guys are in the NFL from like that core set that you were with?
Yeah. That's we talked about that last year when after the ceremony, just with that group from when I transferred in. That 2014 group they were so talented, and then from 15 on, obviously we're still putting them out there, and we always will. But there's a lot of the key guys that are still just really, really balling. I mean, you think about our scout team was Orlando Brown, Mark Andrews, me, and Joe sat out that year. But I mean, you talk about that group, and then obviously Samaje's not with Cincy anymore, but they've been the 1-2 monster in Cincy for a little bit as well.
It's insane.
Yeah, one thing I think of when I see all you guys here too is like how much NIL money you guys would have made. Like
Oh, my God.
I'm
the
so happy I
bulldozer,
didn't.
Insane.
you know, like
It would have been insane.
I'm so happy I was not a part of that. I don't know. I think
is
it
that
would've-
sarcasm? Because I feel like
No.
you would have made millions
I'm
of
not-
dollars.
I agree, but I think it would have changed the course of history, though. I don't know. I wouldn't have changed it.
It would have been a competition to see who would have made more in their last year, you or Kyler, along with the football.
I don't know.
I think Belldozer shirts would have been
Oh
off
my
the
gosh!
racks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course. And then you mix in a little Trevor Knight marketing with everybody. With his pretty face. They would have had him on The Bachelor.
Oh,
We would
no
have done
doubt.
everything.
No
Yeah.
doubt. Yeah.
It's
He
a good
did
group,
marry a
though.
Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, so yeah.
Yeah.
Lacey's a sweetheart, and they got a son now, so he had to get back, and he was in town as well. So I mean, there's just that whole group that we were here with. They're a bunch of great guys.
How about you moving forward? I know you've been working out with your teammates, your future teammates, this week.
Yeah, was down in Tampa for the first week of work. Really, just from top down, organizational wise, it seems like a great place, and so I'm looking forward to enjoying it. And as we continue to work on stuff and grow within this new system that we're all learning, it's a fresh start for a lot of them, and me as well. So I think it was much needed for everybody.
What's this process been like for you? Just as far as like everything that's happened in your professional career.
Yeah, I mean,
You could be bitter about it.
yeah, and I think for a little bit I was. But you know what? To learn as many playbooks as I've had to learn and to be around different coaches and philosophies, I think I've seen all the ins and outs and different techniques, and I think that's going to benefit me. I mean, quarterbacks now are playing for forever. So
Yeah.
as long as I can continue to try and keep an open mindset with it and just try and grow, I think it's really going to be beneficial with all the shit that I've been through.
Yeah.
And it's I'm able to be a little bit more wise and instead of just being pissed off at the world at all times.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and there had to have been moments though where you're like, fuck this.
Yeah, I mean, and there definitely were times where I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into? But everything happens for a reason, and I think, like, at this point now, I think everything is kind of built up, and now I feel like I'm in a great spot, especially, just headspace-wise, and looking forward to taking on a new challenge.
Is the one thing, I would think the one thing that you've learned throughout this process is, you go to college, you have a coach that's there, you go to the NFL, and things can change overnight from an organization standpoint.
Yeah, it's such a business, and that's just the nature of it. And so you have to understand that the communication in the NFL is so much more important. You really can't leave anything left unsaid because everybody was coached differently when they came up. So you can't expect somebody to be on the same page as you unless you truly cover it. And so you can't waste any time. Like you said, it can change overnight. And one thing, it's a business. And they have to make money and they have to make decisions based off of that. And so it's unfortunate that you don't have the same teammates year in and year out or the staff and whatever happens. But it's just the way it goes.
I also learned last time you were in town how territorial NFL reporting is. When you dropped all that stuff about the Browns and your situation,
at the camp.
And everybody started, like, Pat McAfee's coming after me, Josina Anderson's coming after me.
Yeah, they a lot of the reporters are vultures.
I lived it, man. NFL's a different world.
You just got back from the Broncos. So.
Yeah, it's a different world out there. But I was going to say, Baker, that this last year, ending the season in LA, how much of a confidence boost was that for you? Obviously, the Raiders game, that was phenomenal. But I was there when you played the Broncos, and you were great in that game. How much of a confidence boost was that?
It was great to be able to, at that point, they were eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was a fresh start for me. And it was the first time I had fun playing football in years, to be honest with you. And that was where the confidence. It didn't just happen from having a few good games, but mostly just being out there and being able to play free and being around a great staff. And I'm so thankful for them in just the 5 weeks that we got to spend together, because I think their season to that point, they weren't having much fun either. And so we were all at that same time like, screw it, let's just go play ball and figure out a way to win these last few games.
What do you think about Eddie Radosevich, business owner these days? He's an owner of Sooner Scoop now.
It's pretty scary, isn't it?
Well, you let him into your event, so I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a lot of trust there, and I think that everything went well. I don't get nervous, but that was, a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
And your raunchy humor.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It keeps a smile on my face.
Thank you.
I want photos from the slumber party.
At least somebody does.
Do you have
the slumber party?
Yeah, I want photos.
Do you have a favorite question Eddie asked you during your career at OU? I know he asked you about, was it homecoming? I remember that one.
Homecoming was one. I think the one after, one of my favorites was the one after, I think the Heisman had been announced. And asked you about art class. What your favorite classical art class was?
That one caught me really off guard because everything was about memories.
Everything was so serious because you and Dee were going at the same time at that time.
Oh, and he hit me with that. And the other reporters around there were like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Brooke Pryor was like, "What the fuck did you just ask? Like, why did you ask him that?"
It's like when they played the Jalen Hurts. Do you prefer winning to losing?
Yeah.
And everyone's just ripping Eddie across the country, and the only people that really know the joke are the people that have
the best part was he talked about winning that week like 100 times leading up to that.
Exactly.
I just wanted to clarify. It's a big ass contract. He's fine. It worked out for him.
Exactly. You're taking credit for that? Based off your questions?
A little bit.
Yeah.
More than the other guy. The guy out west. No. It's been fun. It's been fun.
I love it. Well, thank you guys again.
Yeah, you almost made it through this interview without even mentioning that other guy.
Well, it's fine. We're on the mend. We're on the mend.
That's not true at all.
I think
you're still
as
blocked.
long as
I spoke to him this week.
He blocked me on Twitter, but if he takes me out to Riviera, we'll call it even.
I will say that. Like, Baker needs to know this. Like, George reached out to Lincoln and said, "Do you want to comment on Kyler?" And Lincoln called him and said, "I don't want to be a distraction." I don't. So I thought that was nice, even though I still don't like him.
At some point, everybody's going to be cool with it. I think.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Well, you know what? We had a ton of guys leave at the transfer portal and all that, and I think once this place gets back to the norm, everybody will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There had to be times, though, 6 and 7 last year, where you were kind of pissed at Lincoln a little bit for putting OU in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, of course, but I also understood it. Lincoln and I are close enough, and I said that he did what he did, and coming from somebody that's made decisions and had to do it, well, only you can understand that. So And that's what I said. You know what? Like, Lincoln was such an instrumental part of my career, and I'll never say anything bad about him. And that's just that.
We did ask Baker for funding for the billboards outside of USC, the Rush 3 Drop 8 T-shirts, but he would not give us any money for it.
That's fine. We'll work on it.
Baker's
we'll work
like, please edit this out.
We'll work on it. No,
Don't put this in there.
And here's the thing: even if he would have given us funding for it, Gavin Newsom probably would have taken him down or made him wear a mask anyway. So I think that it actually ended up pretty good.
Oh, okay. I come on here. I never know what you're gonna say.
That's the and that's the special part, isn't it? That's the walk-up. We're making him uncomfortable. We should get him out of here.
I will save you. I will let you go. We really appreciate everything.
I appreciate you guys.
And
you want me to sign those, Emily? That Baker needs to sign those? Okay.
No, thank you guys for doing this. Obviously,
it's been
always
a
great
lot of
to
fun.
see you
It's
guys.
been a great weekend.
And obviously, when we continue this thing, we got to have you guys back.
Sure.
So continue to
all you got to
it.
do is make one call. We'll be right there. So appreciate it.
Who do I call? Who's most trustworthy?
Oh, you have to call me.
Yeah, no,
just
me.
let Chris. Just let Chris take care of it.
let Chris handle it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think my agent price might go up next year.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I see
Eddie's
it.
around here getting more pictures than you. I mean,
get you a few
it's
more beers.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
A few
Well,
more
I think
beers.
Baker's the
About
only
that.
person that Eddie that he didn't beat out for most pictures taken.
I mean, people were coming up to him left and right.
he's out of control, Baker.
There's a lot of people.
His head can't get any bigger.
Oh
I
my
love
God,
it.
it's
I love
unbelievable.
It's not possible.
All right, we're out of here. Thanks, Baker, for having it. Also, Meals on Wheels in Norman. Go check them out on the website.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make donations still. Still need to raise money for a great cause. At Baker's Behind, we're behind. So, Baker, thank you, Emily. Thanks to Chris and everybody for setting this up summer. Really enjoyed it.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, thank you so much.